Hey, what's up, Star Status? It's 3D the Rap Star, aka is the Benz Man. Make sure you follow me on my Instagram. It is the Benz Man. That's ISTHEBENZMAN. And in today's video, I'm gonna be bringing y'all the rise and fall of Mercedes-Benz. But wait, Mercedes never really actually fell off.
I got a full tank of gas in my E-Class Benz. I caught the S600 through the AMG in. Mashing up the block, they can't see through tents. Why my G-Wagon gotta be so dipped? All I ever wanted was a brand new Benz, so I could ride 4 deep, just me and my friends. I used to be flat broke, now I got ends. First thing I did was go buy me a Benz.
Look, I'm leaving, mashing this Benz all season.
All right, so Mercedes was once a top brand. I mean, still is. Mercedes is one of those brands where you working hard, you got paid, you want to show something for yourself, you go get a Mercedes. You go get a Benz. The cream of the crop has always been the S-Class. Besides being subdivisions, no Maybach, no AMG, the S550 or the S560 now has always been the top Mercedes-Benz alone, no subdivisions. With that said, Mercedes S-Class is still known to be one of the best cars on the market, as this is an older one. You know, on the newer ones, well, there is no more S-Coupe, but that's what I'm gonna be talking about later. So you get, you know, a nice wheel, everything in detail, a car that rivaled the Bentley GT, a car that rivaled the Aston Martin, but in reality, the S-Coupe had no competition. The 6 Series wasn't a direct competitor because these cars were so different. The Bentley wasn't really a competitor because the price is a little more. The Aston Martin wasn't really a competitor because the car was more sport oriented, if you get what I'm saying. You know, Mercedes was one of the first road cars, production cars on the road. They were one of the first. So they know how to do cars very well. And you know, Mercedes rose to fame because it had the 3-point star. The 3-point star, this meant something. It meant more than just what it means nowadays. It meant heritage. It meant you get a well-engineered car. It meant top safety. That's why people even got these cars. That's why people get them, you know. It's something for yourself. It's a weekend car, or it's a daily driver car, knowing that it's a high-end luxury car that can handle everyday performances. That's what these were. So Mercedes never really truly fallen off, if you get what I'm saying, from a marketing standpoint, from a company standpoint. So when I had my CL550, they merged with Chrysler. And they used to say it like right on the door, right when you open the door. Nothing against Chrysler. But when you open the door, it used to say, not right there, but right here. It didn't say Daimler AG. It said Daimler Chrysler. I didn't want that on a CL. I just didn't. Nothing against the Chrysler name. Chrysler is not that bad of a brand, but it kind of brought the reliability down on Mercedes. It brought the reliability down, and it showed on my CL. It showed on cars like from 2007, 2008, or whatever days they merged. It showed because I used to have problems at the problems. But the merger would have worked because they said, hey, Mercedes said, hey, you're in America. You know, we can start using you guys for parts, and we can have cheaper costs, and we can make cars that, you know, we can use universal parts for. And then you got a lot of people, I mean lots of people, that often come to my page or often come around and say, Mercedes-Benz is trash. You know, I had one, or I had this one, I had 3 of them, I had 4 of them, and I'll never buy one again. I had one, the reliability is just unacceptable. People text me, or people DM me, people write me, people jump out the air and say, hey, as beautiful as that thing is, my 95 Civic has had no problems. So far, I had this one, the engine light has came on. I had an engine light problem. It was smoking a little bit, but we took care of that so far. So far, so good. The reliability is good when you get more to the newer Benzes. When you get talking about newer, maybe 2015 and up, the reliability helped a lot. So that's one where it went wrong. The second place, you know, to us customers was when you brought in the 43s. Number 2, I'm gonna say the 43s. It's a good marketing strategy. It is. But on the S550, this car is still a V8. It's still a V8 Mercedes. It's still a V8. So they brought that in for market because the market was just leaning towards, you know, cars that's a little bit cheaper, but you still get to look. That's why you got a C-Class coupe that look like the S-Class coupe. That's why the E-Class coupe look like the S-Class coupe. They made a market where the little lesser car can make it look like the bigger car. So they all kind of look similar. So if someone getting the S-Class might say, hey, the C-Coupe look just like it and it's cheaper. And I don't need a car this long. I don't need a car this big. I'll just get the C-Class. But the 43s, most of them are like inline sixes. And what's crazy about that, because it does have the AMG nameplate, us customers or us fans often call them fake AMGs. I know you hear that term thrown around a lot. Oh, it's a fake AMG. But my car, I'm happy with this S550. But if the opportunity came around from having this car for a while, I probably would switch to a S63 now just to hop in it. But I always felt like the 550s give off a luxury look and a feel, and the AMGs give off a sportier look and feel, if you get what I mean. So I feel like the 43s also was a fall. It diluted the AMG market. It's not that desirable no more. Like, what's like, if this car is just as fast as it and is an S-Class, but yes, it is a V8, but I'm just saying in general. All right, so number 3 go hand in hand with number 2. It's the new C-Class. It's called a C63, but it's not a V8. So what's going on? You know, we're looking at it like, Mercedes, what are you doing? What are you doing? We don't know. I mean, yeah, okay, it's fast. You're going to get people in the comments. It is fast. They're plenty fast. Have you ever drove one? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, to us looking in, the heritage is gone. Why even call it a 63? You know, the 550s come blank right there, but I feel like that's all marketing because these cars are a V8 bi-turbo. So I feel like it should be on there, but it's not to sell a lot of the 63s. It's just like with the 6-cylinder AMGs. You know, they putting AMGs on it because, hey, if it's a 6-cylinder, I don't care because it say AMG on the other side. But inline sixes on AMGs to us is kind of a no-no. I wanted to know these engines, and I know it's not really Mercedes' fault because they are forced to do that for, you know, everything's going electric. We get it, but still, AMG's supposed to be AMG. Number 4 is the look. As nice as it look, as nice as it is, as nice as all the curves. Look at the engine. Like, who designs a car like that? Just look how great this is for a second. Just look at the design. Like, the whole little engine thing is on the inside of the body of the car. This window right here, look how long this panoramic roof is. A lot of people say black out this part, but I don't want to because it kind of gives, it's rare. I never seen a car with like 3/4 panorama or panoramic. I'm saying that all wrong. And then the standard roof right there. That's why I don't black it out, because then you just give that illusion like every other car on the road. What car? Little windows. What car besides the E-Class and the Bentley? Pillarless windows. So we get all this just to come around to the back to say it kind of looks similar to a C-Class. I mean, the real people know. The enthusiasts know. Just look at that. That looks nice. That looks mean. That looks ugh. CL, we love that, you know, it had the flares right here, flares right there. It just looked different coming down the street in traffic. With this coming down the street in traffic, as nice as it is, you kind of, if you just know Mercedes but don't know them, you kind of don't know. And that's what hurt the brand. You know, back in the days, you knew the E-Class had the bubble lights. You knew this, how the C-Class looked. You knew how the SL looked. You knew how the SLS with the gold wings looked. So number 4, you knew how every car looked. Now Mercedes just making them all the same. And I get why they did it, because I made a video on that. If y'all could go check out my page and check out why I put the C, the E, and the S all look alike. So it's another fall. All of Mercedes starting to look alike. BMW was like that already, and that's why I like Mercedes anyway, because they looked different. That's what I like. Each model looked different. Now they all just running around looking the same, just with different names on them, just like the BMWs. They're both doing it. M4, M3, M5, you all, M6, you just know off the size. S-Class, C-Class, E-Class, starting to be the same thing. You just know off the size. Okay, so number 5. Number 5, I'm gonna say discontinuation of models on cars. Why did they get rid of this thing? I made a video on that. If y'all want to go check the real reason why they got rid of the S Coupe, you know, I talk about like the 5 things like I'm doing in this video of why they got rid of this car. I don't know why. Just look at it, how nice it is. Well, I know why, but I'm saying I don't know why, because it was a nice car. Like the looks, the curb is really nice. How do you get rid of such thing like this? But I get it. It's off sales. It's off trying to broad because it's already an S-Class, but they got the S sedan. But I talked about that already. But I want to talk about discontinuation. So they got rid of this thing. They're getting rid of a lot of models that we liked. There is no CL. This was supposed to be the upgraded CL, but they changed the name to the S550. They should have just kept the CL nameplate. You know why? Because when you tell people you got an S-Class, they think, oh, okay, it's just, which you can't just say it's just an S-Class, but you know what I mean. Like nothing gives it that exclusivity, if I even said that right, like this car. So when you say S-Class, they think you always talking about the 4-door, but the 2-door coupe, I haven't ran into probably one in the last month. They're so rare on the road. It's just like the CL. But why did they get rid of the cars we like? They brought the SL back. Lovely car, lovely iconic car, but you don't get rid of this car for that car. You find a way to keep both. And it's just getting confusing. You know, they got a GLB out now, a C300, a C43, a C63, like all this unnecessary stuff that they discontinue in other models to make models, which I didn't like. That's like another fall of Mercedes. You know, you got to build off what you got, not get rid of the cars that we like, that the people like. We love this car. We love this thing. We love the S-Class in general. S580 is lovely, but if they had a coupe, oh man, it's like Mercedes is getting rid of everything we like about the cars. Discontinuation of the V8s, discontinuation of certain cars, the way they look. Like, what is Mercedes doing? What are their plans for the future? We don't know. Because now I'm getting to the point like, well, what's Mercedes what I want next? I don't know. We love these cars. Like, a lot of people follow this channel from the CL content to this content. So I don't know, man. I just feel like Mercedes is going in the wrong direction. As a company, like I said, they're still up. They're not falling off nothing. It's just the way we look at it. So signing off. Hope you liked the video. Benz man.